We have some numbers in cannabis in Q3. And love them or hate them, the big box MSOs, with their broad retail footprint spanning multiple regional markets in both adult use and medical lanes, offer much clearer insight than their mom and pop counterparts in the cannabis industry's overall economic health. Um, Though different DBAs are used for varying reasons in different markets, most utilize top down SOPs, much like mainstream American corporations. So, the results generated by these companies provide analytics firms like Zuanic and Associates, apples to apples comparisons, providing a more accurate assessment on how good or bad the green economies in each state are doing. Most Q3 numbers have now been reported, and we're seeing mixed results, with Maryland coming out as a clear winner. With sales more than doubling the second quarter following the state's recreational sales rollout in July, and Arizona is looking like the biggest loser, with major logos exiting and 2023 sales continuing to slide after hitting rock bottom in July. All in all, as DNA show that 10 states have a steady uptick in sequential year over year sales, and seven others riding shotgun with no seatbelt on the struggle bus. Let's break into it. So, Maryland's looking like an early favorite of rookie of the market of the year, and both wholesale prices and retail spreads are up sharply since July's rec market launch, with an average annual revenue run rate of north of $10 million per store. Other notables on the upside were Michigan and Connecticut, who saw sequential sales growth of 10 and 8% respectively. And then on the other side, got Missouri, Ohio, and Oregon continuing their steady pace in the race to the bottom, with each state building upon previous downward sales trends. But this big shady story in all of this, the struggle state lane, is definitely Arizona. On the surface, sure, like many others, Arizona reported a dip compared to previous years. Not much has changed. So rational thinking points to the dip being partly seasonal. But when added to a sharp 37% decline in retail flower pricing, Arizona's cooking up a Southwestern recipe a little too spicy for the unrefined Chad palates of Cresco and Air Wellness, both of which recently announced that they'd be getting the fuck out of that Copper State kitchen and head into more lucrative state markets. Game recognized game, and Arizona is looking very familiar to Massachusetts right now. Hopefully, the former's mass MSO exodus doesn't gut the market like Trulieve and Curaleaf's did the latter. Just saying. But returning to the fact that these numbers are coming off multi-state operators, a mixed bag of results could actually be a positive thing when looking at the national balance sheets. Curaleaf, for example, doesn't really need to panic yet. Their remaining retail portfolio shows them allows them to counterbalance negative pressure from Arizona and their poor results there with positive growth in markets like New Jersey and Maryland. Cresco's fallout is linked to the failed Puff Daddy deal with Columbia Care. It's been a rough year indeed for Mr. Combs. Lots of stuff going on there, I tell you. But Cresco announced this week it completed the sale of its sole Arizona business, Encanto, to an affiliate of Mint Cannabis for 6.5 million. In a statement similar to Kim Rivers when she announced that she'd be leaving Massachusetts and taking Truliev's talents to Florida, Cresco CEO Charles Bachtel said Thursday that on the heels of this summer's epic P. Diddy Columbia Care mega merger failure, his company too would be looking to focus on, quote, core markets and products. In the presser, he said this: as we have highlighted over the past several quarters, we are focused on strengthening our operations and increasing profitability. Our exit from Arizona aligns with our strategy to optimize our portfolio by prioritizing assets with a greater path to scale. And surprise, surprise, Cresco did not need safe banking to secure a 10-year, 25.3 million conventional mortgage on properties in Ellenville, New York, with initial funding providing $20 million and a very favorable interest rate of 8.4%.
Mm.
Makes New York. Bechtel said that the non-dilutive financing is another sensible tool for optimizing Cresco's balance sheet and lowering the cost of capital as they continue to strengthen their overall business. End quote. Arizona sales growth has shown a mere 2% uptick since inception back in 2021, and Headsets Analysis blames all of that slow growth on continued Concentration of brands driven deeper investments in house brands produced and sold by the same vertical retailer. Arizona's consolidation trend ranks the Grand Canyon state second only to Massachusetts in this aspect. Yet again, game recognized game, poor game. And final August and September sales have yet to be reported, but Arizona is still projected to match 2022 annual sales of 1.4 billion. But what's going on here is behind the scenes. The total for 2023 thus far is just under $1 billion in marijuana sales and 714 in recreational, 714 million in recreational, 241 in medical. But GMR reported back in September Truliev's insider kickback allegations in Arizona. The state's unofficial pay to play schemes and limited licensing structure continue to render the market unattractive to new investment money. That is the market update for Q3 as we bring those numbers into a close here. I'm Rico Lamite, the dopest dad on the street. I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this, man? MSO numbers are in, and the
Who
market is up and down.
who was it, Rico, that pulled out of Arizona?
Trulieve.
Trulieve. That
Oh,
is
no, excuse me. Cresco.
that is fascinating because from my understanding, the Arizona market is like people are actually making money down there, and people are actually
If
having
you are
decent
in the
sales.
market, yeah, Green Market Report. John Troyer reported on that last month. There's a huge kickback scheme
Mhm.
related to leave out there, and a lot of the people who have been there from the beginning are doing well, but no new money's coming into the state.
Interesting, interesting,
Yeah,
interesting.
where they recently reviewed the financial performance of the large MSOs and MJ Biz Daily, there's a lot of red in that chart. A lot of these companies are not making profit at all. And yeah, um, I
Bad.
just wanted to say that they're not profitable for whatever reason.
Yeah, the upside here that they're seeing is mostly in New Jersey, Maryland, and there's a lot of there's a lot of predictions about New York actually having a killer Q4 and Q1 because they're letting the MSOs in. As you see, Cresco got that $25 million loan.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I think that $25 million loan from
8%.
Cresco is a little misleading, Rico, because you said it was a real estate loan, so therefore it was secured by real estate that is already owned by Cresco,
So
and so that
we don't know.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a little
we don't
misleading.
know.
It's not a cannabis loan; it's a real estate loan.
Well,
Big
and what's the
difference.
percentage of New York produced cannabis that's in the largest marketplace in the state, which is New York City? Most of that weed comes from elsewhere. It does not come from New York licensed growers.
Well,
That's it.
at the same time, I mean, I wouldn't want to smoke anything from those New York licensed growers because the only thing that they're selling is, a year and a half old.
So what you're saying, Jason, is if you go out in New York, you should probably look for the California logo on there.
Well, I mean, I'll put it to you like this: I wouldn't be shopping in a licensed store in New York. I'd only be shopping at some little trap bodega or whatever, or even one of the collective stores or members only stores, whatever they're choosing to identify as.
I would
How
actually
is the
go in there, Gotham
how's the
Buds or
California market doing, Rico? Is it up or down?
trash.
It's down.
Trash. It just all the MSOs are out.
Yeah, it's
Most of the
down.
MSOs
It's
no.
down.
Down.
So it's a lot harder to it's a lot
Well,
harder
my,
to
my story
market.
my story today is going to touch on one of the reasons why it's down. Is because California is being flooded with all these psychoactive products that are derived from hemp.
The plot thickens.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Any
Well,
first commercial going, Jason?
what's that?
You got first commercial?
Yes,
You
yes, yes.
you
We have
ready
our
to
first
go?
commercial coming up. We're gonna go to a commercial. We're gonna be right back.